Welcome to another Star Wars The Clone Wars episode review. Again, we're going chronologically through the whole series to fill our Star Wars needs as we wait for The Mandalorian and some other wonderful shows to come to Disney+. Before we get into the review, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, all share. You know how it works. It all helps out the channel and appreciate it. Today's episode is, again, chronological, so some of the episodes are weird. It is episode 16 of season 1, entitled The Hidden Enemy, and the little moral fortune cookie of the day is truth enlightens the mind, but won't always bring happiness to your heart. And it's very clear where that comes in later on in the episode. This is going to be full line-by-line reviews, just general thoughts on the episode and things I liked and didn't like about it. I really enjoyed this episode as I did the last one. With this one, two things. One, it's the introduction of, chronologically speaking, of Ventress, who was a fantastic character throughout all of Clone Wars, and in the book The Dark Disciple, which is one of my favorite canon novels. So just the introduction of that, very fascinating and great character who, when you have something like this show, it's just... The Clone Wars is great because not only did it add context to the prequels, but it gave us all these very rich characters who just filled out the world so much more. So the introduction of Ventress later on is great, but basically the plot of the episode is there's an ambush that happens on Christophsis. The Jedi plan is clearly found out. There's a mole inside of the Republic forces, and Anakin and Obi-Wan, along with Commander Cody and Rex, and I believe this is the first time we see Rex. I don't remember if he was in last episode, are trying to find out who the mole is and what's going on, what the plot is. And the great thing, the best part about this episode is it introduces immediately a theme that is going to be what this whole show is going to be about from the clone side, from Rex and Cody. And it's what is the identity of the clones? Who are they as individuals? Because basically one of their own, Slick, was the one who was getting the dirt out. You know, he was getting the intel out. And he basically says, I love my brothers, but I did it because you're just doing the bidding of the Jedi, and I did it so we could be free, and it's for freedom, and you wouldn't understand that. And we just have this great struggle of personal identity for this clone who they're all going to go through. I mean, they all do little things, cut their hair a certain way, mark their armor up to try and define themselves. But this idea of, truly wanting to be free and having your own choice in what your destiny is, and it's going to be something that the show really hits on throughout its run. And for that idea to be introduced so early on, I mean, again, it's a couple episodes in, but it's still early in the first season. And so that's just my favorite part, is that we're getting right into that concept. And if you think about it, it's got to be such a weird dynamic. You're born as a clone, you're sped up as far as your aging, you're trained to do one thing, and everyone else is a clone of you. You're all the same person. And so that struggle for freedom and individuality has to be just whatever's going on in their heads just has to be fascinating. And so I'm glad that we jumped into that so early on. And Slick is, I know I said Ventress is a great character. She's a great recurring character, but again, Clone Wars, you get just sometimes these one-off characters who add so much to the puzzle that is Star Wars, as far as just adding one more thing to think about. And so Slick is just a great character who we're only going to see once, but it's great because he adds that extra layer that we're talking about. So a great episode again. Looking forward to watching the movie. My wife has never seen it. We're going to be watching that next week. And so we'll see what her thoughts are on the Clone Wars, the theatrical release, and we'll see if it's aged any better for me. I've seen it 2 or 3 times. It's not great, I haven't enjoyed it that much those times, but maybe the third time it'll be the charm. And having fully watched all of Clone Wars and everything else, I'll have a true appreciation for it. And regardless, it is the introduction of Ahsoka, who has, of course, become a pillar of the Star Wars lore and universe. And so we'll go along for the journey, and we'll see you next time here for our Clone Wars review. Again, leave a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you next time here on a podcast named Tim.